The Rise and Fall of Isaac Thompson, A Tale of Fame and Forgotten Roots. Isaac Thompson was born into a small, close-knit black British community in East London. His father, a Jamaican immigrant, worked night shifts at a factory, while his mother, a warm-hearted woman, balanced multiple jobs to support the family. Their life was modest, but they shared it with a neighborhood that felt like family. Sunday dinners were never just the Thompsons. Neighbors often stopped by, filling their tiny kitchen with laughter and music. Isaac grew up with a passion for music that could hardly be contained. It was Malik, his best friend since primary school, who first noticed Isaac's talent. Malik was quiet and reserved, but he was a genius with beats, always tapping out rhythms on his school desk. "One day, Isaac," Malik would say, "we're going to make music that changes the world." And Isaac would smile, believing every word of it. They spent countless nights in Malik's small garage studio, recording songs on old equipment they'd borrowed or pieced together from secondhand stores. They'd dream big under those flickering lights, imagining sold-out concerts and music videos. It was their neighborhood, though, that was their first audience. Malik's mum would bake and sell cakes to support them. Auntie Marie, a neighborhood matriarch, would pull up a chair every time they performed, clapping and cheering louder than anyone else. As their following grew, Isaac caught the attention of a local manager who promised him the world. "You've got the voice, the charisma, the story," the manager said, his voice full of allure. "You just need to lose the baggage." Isaac knew what he meant. Malik, the neighborhood, all the people who had been with him from the start. But he ignored the warning signs, desperate to seize this opportunity. Malik was hurt but tried to support his friend, reassuring him, "I'll be here, bro. Just don't forget where you came from." Isaac's career took off faster than anyone could have imagined. He went from performing in tiny clubs to headlining in London's biggest venues. His lyrics spoke of hope, struggle, and the dreams of the marginalized, drawing fans who saw themselves in his words. For the first time in his life, Isaac had money, fame, and the attention of people who once ignored him. But fame has a way of changing people. Isaac's newfound circle was full of celebrities, journalists, and influencers who showered him with praise and flattery. Gradually, his friends from back home became distant memories. Malik's texts went unanswered. Auntie Marie's calls, too. It was as if a curtain had fallen between Isaac and his past, shutting out everyone who had once loved him. Over time, his family began to feel his absence as well. Isaac rarely called his mum, and his father, who had once been so proud of his son's success, was left heartbroken. But Isaac was too caught up in his new world to notice, too focused on maintaining his place in the spotlight. Years passed, and Isaac's fame began to wane. His third album didn't resonate with audiences the way his earlier work had. The lyrics felt hollow, lacking the raw emotion that had once defined him. Even his manager, once so supportive, began to distance himself, chasing after the next rising star. The people who had surrounded him in his prime, who had been his friends at lavish parties and private gatherings, suddenly had no time for him. Isaac found himself in his empty, luxurious flat, scrolling through messages he'd never answered and pictures of friends he'd long abandoned. Desperate to reconnect, he took a train back to his old neighborhood. As he walked those familiar streets, memories flooded back of laughter, music, and all the people who had lifted him. But the neighborhood had changed. Gentrification had swept through, and new shops and faces lined the streets. Malik's garage, once their sacred studio, was now a coffee shop, sterile and silent. Isaac stopped by Malik's house, but his old friend barely looked him in the eye. "You don't remember, do you?" Malik asked, his voice soft but bitter. "You forgot about us the second you tasted fame. I was just the baggage you left behind." Isaac tried to apologize, tried to explain, but he knew it was too late. Malik had moved on, and so had everyone else. Auntie Marie, too, hadn't forgiven him. She was still in the neighborhood, but her warmth had faded when it came to Isaac. She didn't go to his shows anymore, didn't clap for him the way she once had. "You had the whole world in your hands, Isaac," she told him, her voice full of sadness. "But what's the world worth if you lose your soul?" As he walked away, Isaac felt the weight of his choices settle on him, a burden heavier than any fame or fortune. He had gained the world but lost the people who had truly mattered. He had lost Malik, Auntie Marie, and the community that had once been his foundation. In the end, he realized fame was fleeting, but the love and support he had once had were priceless, and they were gone. Isaac's story is a reminder to stay grounded, to hold on to the people who were there from the beginning. Fame, fortune, and power may come and go, but the people who truly care about us, the people who believe in us without expectation, are the ones who give us real meaning. Isaac Thompson learned this lesson too late, but perhaps others can learn it in time.